Here we go. Another trip utilizing FSD 12.6.1, doing a little highway driving now. By request, we're going to do some downtown driving. We're going to check out downtown. So right off the bat, it looks like there's a lane closure. So we'll see how FSD handles that. We got several lights approaching, so let's see how we do with our speed. They're in the works of building up to, let's see, there we go. So we made that turn. They're building up to recognizing, I know certain lights, emergency vehicles, stuff like that. That really is an emergency situation other than the lights. I'm not sure about other areas, but Dallas in particular, all the vehicles, service vehicles, emergency vehicles, they have so many different lights on them. But nevertheless, FSD handled that appropriately. So we will continue on. This will be a first drive for me utilizing FSD out here. It's been a while. It's been a few months. So really nothing to compare to per se. It's just us getting out there and seeing what happens here. So that is what we will do. Okay. So now we're coming up to this exit. Slow down a bit. Okay. Doing good here. Turning radius, good. In comparison to the typical area that we film and show off FSD, this is true city. So this is the actual test, the real test. So again, it's early morning, so it definitely won't be as much traffic as it typically would be, but you still kind of get the feel for how it handles true city streets, one-way scenarios. If anyone's ever been to Dallas or lives out here, there are several areas within Dallas that are very confusing to navigate. I've missed my turn several times, and I'm sure some of you all have out there as well. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, kind of favoring the right in this turn. I think we initially came out a little hot, which then it had to kind of course correct, but we're back on line. Okay, so this will be the end-to-end highway scenario. We're coming to this off-ramp. See how we'll handle those things. Switching lanes for the off-ramp. I don't know if I like that. Obviously, I understand because this is our exit here, but I could have done a little bit sooner. It's always feels a little bit awkward to change lanes on a turn like that, but nevertheless. So we're here in downtown, and that's one of the things you have to be watchful for is people, for sure. Okay. So we'll take it there. And I'll try and add a stop here to keep us moving. Okay, so try and get a good feel for downtown wise. Getting downtown, going to Deep Ellum, we got some one way over there, and then circling back around to make it back to our side of town. Okay. Made that turn okay, so now we're on a one way here. We have a person in the middle of the street, which I don't know why they are. I could have taken over here. Now I kind of feel bad. I could have disengaged because it's very cold outside. By the way, it is it's 27 right now in Dallas, but there's a wind chill, so I believe with that windshield, it puts us in single digits for sure. So definitely thinking of all the people out there, especially the homeless, because it is very cold. It's cold in the cabin now. I have the heat on. I have it on 70, but I can still feel my arms. It's cold. So AT&T Discovery Center, that's our first stop. So that's looking good. Kind of blowing through these lights because again, with there being no traffic, it's a little bit easier to manage. I think ultimately this comes down to any typical surprises, such as this person backing out. How's FSD going to handle that? Okay. I think it's just being ready to disengage when it comes to people walking. I think that's always a factor out here in downtown areas. And with that, when there is traffic in the downtown areas, it's much more easier to kind of course correct a bit. So let's see here. Let's see what we're doing here. So we kind of just took that long approach there. This side of the street's still open. So following the rules, I get that. Okay, so not bad. Come to a complete stop. This is a long curb, so let's see. Yeah, we still made it. That was a very long curb. I don't know why that curb was that long, and maybe because FSD stopped a little too soon, or maybe where the line was at. I'm not sure, but we made it out. That was a very close one. Okay, so continuing on, we are now heading into the Deep Ellum area. There we go. Again, very cold out here. We have an Arctic front for the next few days, so I'm sure throughout the day, there'll still be people. Deep Ellum, for those that aren't aware, it's a more popular area. You got your restaurants, bars, drinks, stuff like that. So, so we have that. So this is the entrance. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's trying to Find the best parking scenario. Okay, so we did that. Okay. So this latest build, it's doing more and more to very interesting in attempting to park. So I'm not mad at it. Okay, so let's see if we have a couple more stops. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and see if it gets out. If not, sometimes tapping on an accelerator will kind of get it started. So why don't we just do that a little bit here? I think it needs some assistance there. So, and that's one of those things that I know for FSD 13, version 13, being able to leave from a parking spot or park, that'll be a non-issue. Okay, so next piece here is some real construction. So we're gonna give it some grace and see how it handles this. It handled it well, handled it very well. As you all can see, this is very new. I don't come to downtown too often, but I've come recently, and this was not a thing. So, great job, great job at to FSD for handling that, because that's not on the map. That's not anything that was ever planned. I think they probably did that within the past month or so. Okay, so back on a two-way street. It's still trying to get me to it's still trying to park. This is my first time kind of doing the ad stop, so I'm going to disengage just for now and park over here. I think it's trying its best to figure out how to park. Okay, so why don't we clear this and we'll go this way. Destination may be closed. It better be closed. It's very early. Okay, so good job with that. You know, I'm always curious with the one-way streets, how things would be handled if it gets confused and does not go the way it's supposed to. But everything was great. I think above par for an area such as that, especially with that construction piece. That was an unknown to me. So great job with that. So now we're coming back into downtown. And again, with downtown areas, you always have to be mindful of pedestrians and everything associated essentially with downtown. But debris, downed vehicles, you name it, right? So let's see how we handle things. Getting into this left lane. Looking good. You can tell the wind is kicking up to the street lights kind of just wobbling. Very large street light that's wobbling. So, okay, so good turn there. Coming to a stop here, which is good. Other vehicles approaching. Okay, so kind of riding in the middle here, which isn't the best. I know it's kind of respecting the vehicles, but still, we want to stay within the line to the best of our ability. coming up to the stop sign. There's some vehicles coming from the left here. Okay. Go. Okay, so another one-way scenario. Again, we're downtown, so that's to be expected. Has a large bump coming up. I don't think we'll hit it though. There we go. Yeah. So that's that. Okay, so we're raising our suspension. I always laugh with that. It takes one good bump and it's like, okay, now we're not, you got us in a different terrain now. So let's take care of that. So, again, technology wise, Tesla's advanced with the tech and the self-awareness on how to handle situations. So, going over some reflectors on the ground. As you know, in my previous videos, reflectors on the ground are not our friends, especially if reflectors are being used instead of actual painted lanes. It struggles. So now a mix, I would say, is okay, like, what we're kind of seeing now. But okay, so far so good. Coming up on this turn again. These Dallas streets can throw you for a loop if you're not paying attention. So it's almost if you want to call it advantageous, whatever the case may be, to have FSD handle the streets like this. So here's our destination. So I'm gonna disengage here now. It's not open, but again, great job. I think just my initial thoughts on handling everything that comes with a downtown area. It can be a lot. So part 2 to this, we'll film next, making our way back to the suburbs and go from there. So until then, appreciate it.